After getting destroyed at home to Manchester United a couple of weeks back, you could have been forgiven for thinking that Arsenal might have been worried the title race was back on. However, fast forward another game week, and we see results like Leeds 0, Arsenal 4, and Tottenham 2, Man City 2, and everybody could be forgiven for thinking it was all over again. Thankfully, there are still a number of interesting stories to sell in the Premier League, though, most notably around Champions League and relegation. We'll be getting stuck into them, as well as providing tips and insights on every upcoming Premier League game. I'm Conor McCabe, and I'm joined, as ever, on the Stakehouse by my co-pilot, Lucas Dazinski. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing really well. Looking forward to this week. I think I've got quite a few good angles, and it's always nice to go into a week after a huge Brentford win.
Of course, get that in there straight away. We've got angles galore between the two of us to get through to you guys, and as well as that, as I've mentioned, talking points around the league table and other stories around the transfer window and everything else. So without further ado, we're going to get stuck straight in and launch off with the first fixture, which is Leeds versus Nottingham Forest. Is this one of your angles?
Yes, it is. My angle was also Leeds versus Arsenal, and I was proven horrendously wrong. I think that game, Leeds just didn't really turn up. I don't think it was Arsenal being really good. I mean, look, they're decent and they're obviously better than Leeds, but I don't know, for some reason Leeds didn't turn up. And this is a massive game for both teams. However, I think there's a bit of value on Leeds. They are, in my opinion, the far more superior team than Forest, especially at home. They're really strong at home. I'm not convinced with Forest at all. They've been getting some pretty lucky results. Look, they drew against Palace, but they were down to 10 men, pretty much parked the bus. Did a similar tactic when they played Brentford. They scored an early goal and just parked the bus. I think Leeds minus a quarter at 1.9 is a decent price here. So if it's a draw, we get half our money back. If it's a win, we win our bet. Yeah, I expect Leeds to win this. And it's Friday night. So come on, you want to bet for Friday night, right? There you go, you got one there. A big one.
Okay, so what price are we getting on Leeds, and what's the
minus quarter, 1.92.
So Leeds minus 0.25.
It was actually at evens earlier in the week, and it's come in a bit, so I expect it's come in a bit more.
So if Leeds draw, we get half our money back, right? Cool. Okay, good stuff. I think it's a tough one to call. I think it'll be bitty. I think Nottingham Forest are masters of going away from home in a fixture like this, as they proved against Bees. So I don't love it myself, which you'll say is a good thing. So I think it could be a draw here. I think Nottingham Forest.
Neco Williams suspended as well.
Yeah, true. That's a big one. For
he's not he's not super important. Yeah, he's not a super important player, but still played pretty much every game this season.
But what a save, though.
I mean, yeah, get him. United should have got him to replace Onana. Right?
I'd take him over Onana if he can produce like that. I'd take him over what we did have before Lomans. I mean, look. Let's just while we're here, let's touch on the relegation battle as a whole, right? Because we've got Burnley and Wolves that are gone, right, on 8 and 15 points respectively. I know that you think Wolves will topple Burnley and send Burnley to
100% big value.
Okay, and still value.
Yep, still value.
Okay, so there's a tip straight away. Burnley to finish bottom. But let's look at the rest, because let's be real, neither of those two are staying up, right? So then we look at the rest of it. We've got West Ham, who have played, all teams have played the same number of games. We've got West Ham on 20 points, Nottingham Forest on 26 points, Leeds on 26 points, Palace on 29, and Tottenham on 29. You then have that Brighton on 31, who I would say are just okay. So effectively, we're looking at 1 from 5. Now, West Ham have got a 6-point deficit to make up. Can they make that up?
Well, funny you say that. I've run my simulations this morning based on what I feel are based on how I rate the teams, and it doesn't look like West Ham can make it up.
Okay.
And so it looks like to me, Yeah, I have them a 66.3% chance finish in 18th, and I got Forest a 12.2% chance finish in 18th. So
What
that
percentage is Palace?
Palace don't have that figure actually,
Okay.
but I expect them.
In my market,
I don't expect them to go down based on
on your data.
some
Yeah.
of the signings. There's also that they're getting injuries back. There's going to be less games for them, etc. Well, to an extent.
There's just so much football still to be played. We still have another 14 games. We still have a potential.
Yeah, I
42
mean,
points up the
yeah,
grab.
there's a lot of things can change, right? But at the
West
moment, I
Ham
don't see them.
do have to get winning. They do have to get winning. So we'll talk about their
I mean,
fixture very shortly.
yeah, yeah,
Leeds versus Nottingham Forest still goes down as a massive 6-pointer. Whoever wins this game, if they can, takes a massive step towards survival.
probably
So
safe.
should be a good watch. Okay, let's talk about the next one. It's Man United versus Tottenham. I'll go first. I was just really happy. I said in the pod that United would just get over the line, letting my heart overrule my head, and it couldn't have been more true. Like by the skin of their teeth. I think Fulham played really, really well. Gave us a really,
Yeah.
really good game. Hopefully, Shesko can kick on from the confidence boost of a winner at the Stretford end, because if he can start firing, that will make a huge difference for us in the run in the battle for fourth. So, I think that in this one, United at home to Spurs, I'm going to go with United again. And I think we can get a fourth in a row. I just don't really have any confidence in Tottenham in their league form. They
They
were
were really pretty lucky against City,
I mean,
let's
it's
be
a,
honest.
it's an
Like,
interesting game. I mean, they were abject first half. They were so bad. It's hurting my eyes. But the second half, they came out and they were absolutely brilliant against City. I think City helped them. I think we'll talk about City in a bit as well. But I think United have got enough to
Yeah.
beat Tottenham. I'm gonna say 3-1 United.
yeah, I mean, I've got United a whole 1 goal better, so I'm tripled up on United players in fantasy. So there you go.
Which three?
Cunha and Buemo and Dallo.
Wow. All right, let's move on. Let's talk Arsenal versus Sunderland. I mean, this is just as run as a mill as it gets, right?
Yeah, it's routine win for Arsenal. No angles from me, to be honest.
I had a little look at Arsenal to nil, but I mean, Sunderland
1.2
to
to win at home.
Sunderland to draw a blank is like 8-13. So as you say, no value there. Although Arsenal should get the job done very, very simply. Move on to Bournemouth versus Aston Villa. I do have a tip on this one. I'm a great believer of rushes. Aston Villa had their positive rush and they won 11 in a row. Somehow, obviously played a lot of very good football, but they've got an excellent manager. And things went their way, and they outperformed their XG and their stats, and they've done what they've done. But that cushion is coming in all the time. We'll talk about the Champions League race, but they're now only 5 points ahead of United, 6 ahead of Chelsea, and 7 ahead of Liverpool. They are in the Champions League fight for me, as are City, by the way, only a point ahead of them. And neither of those two, in my eyes, are they should both be looking over their shoulder rather than looking at trying to catch Arsenal, because I don't think any of them have got anything like the capabilities and class they need to do that at the moment. So I think Bournemouth can get something. Bournemouth in great form. They've kind of found their mojo again. Really full of energy, plenty to give. And Alex Scott in midfield looks a future international player in waiting. Like, he was excellent last week. And there's just signs now of him starting to get a grip on this Bournemouth midfield and be one of the key leaders of the team. And so my bet involves him and Bournemouth. So it's a bet builder, and it's Bournemouth double chance here.
Wow.
So Bournemouth win or draw, and Alex Scott just to have one shot. So doesn't have to be on target, just has to be a swing of the leg. We can get that bet builder double at 2.4. And that's my first official play. I think Bournemouth will win this game 2-1, and that's my bet.
Okay. Well, it's a bit worrying that we're on the same page again. So, yeah, I feel look, totally agree with you. I've been really impressed with Bournemouth, the way they've handled some of the outgoings and also injuries to players, etc. Like Clive got injured when Semenyo was sold. And they've looked pretty good regardless of those changes. Obviously, start of the season they lost the whole basically back line, and yeah. So my bet on this is draw no bet, so 0 on Asian handicap at even. So if it's a draw, get our money back. If it's a win, we win. I can't see Villa winning this. They're also lacking quite a few players, right? Kamara's still out, McGinn's out, Tielemans is out. Watkins
They have got
missed.
Douglas Luiz back. That's the only thing to say.
Douglas Luiz back. Watkins missed the Brentford game. Who knows if he's back for this one? But if he's not, that's an even bigger blow still.
Tell you what, the one other thing to think about here, they did the shrewdest bit of business for me in the transfer window, Villa. Tammy Abraham at 15 million. That's a bargain. Like, Palace have just signed Strand Larson for 48 million. Right? I mean, that's an absolute bargain for me. So, good shot from them. But there you go, official tip. Effectively 0 on the Asian handicap is the same as draw no bet. So, Bournemouth is the tip. What did you say the price was?
Evens at the moment.
Excellent.
Round evens, yeah.
Most even money. I like that one myself. Let's move on and talk about Burnley versus West Ham, because I do have an angle here. Of all the
I mean, how is this not a TV game?
Yeah. I mean, it's absolute must win for West Ham. Again,
Well, and Burnley.
Well, of course they'll view it that way, but in my head they're already gone.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So,
But it's still must win.
yeah, and they'll see it that way. But West Ham will be looking at this and just thinking they absolutely have to go and do the business. I think that I do have an angle on this game, and it involves, however, a Burnley player, because West Ham are susceptible at set pieces, and Burnley don't mind a set piece, or like them a little bit more at least. And it's around Axel Tuanzebe. His figures for shots are dreadful. He doesn't really have any apart from the very last game that he played, where he scored and had another header that went wide. So he had nothing all season, and now he's just had 2 in one game. I feel like the markets haven't quite adjusted to his shot on target prices. It's in here at Bet365 at 6.5. 6.5 for a shot on target against a team that are very, very weak in the air. Burnley will play off corners. They'll play off set pieces. I'm having a swing at this for half a point. So in terms, instead of the usual stake of 1 point, in terms of, whatever your stake happens to be per point, you should certainly be using a point system. Starting bank 30 points and all that jazz. As mentioned to you in the Stakehouse strategy episodes at the start of the season. But yeah, 6.5 on Tuanzebe. Feel like it's worth a little swing. So I'm going with that. I am going to go with West Ham to get over the line though. So I think they will. Castellanos, the new striker, is shoot on sight merchant. So his shots on target and even goal score prices also could be worth a look. What do you think?
I got quite an even game. I only got West Ham 0.2 goals better. So I think the market's probably right. No real angles for me. I just hope Burnley lose by a really big margin because, like I said, like I mentioned earlier in the previous pods, I'm backing Burnley to finish bottom. So I need that goal difference to take a hammer in.
Fair. Okay. I'll take that because I really want an interesting relegation fight. And for that to happen,
West Ham need to win, yeah.
West Ham, you cannot be not picking up 3 points against Burnley. You just
I thought they were gonna do it against Chelsea. They looked so good in the first half.
They played really well. Well, and they were dead unlucky in the end in that game. And
crumbled.
When it comes to me, so yeah, let's move on. Fulham versus Everton. I mean, look, it was a quiet transfer window, but one thing I'll say is, Everton thought they were going to lose Dwight McNeil to Crystal Palace, and it looked all but done. And then Palace pulled the plug on the transfer at the last minute. Yeah. We don't know why. They just did it. And
well, there's rumours I don't know. Well, whatever.
But this is it, right? There's rumours, and there's rumours circulating because they didn't clear up.
Send the sheet in the time or whatever.
But they're obviously not entitled to do that in the media. It's their call. But the one thing that they didn't do was tell Dwight McNeil, which is just not the right way to operate and the classy way to operate. It's, Dwight McNeil's girlfriend put a post up on social media,
Yeah.
basically talking about, the hurt and stuff that was caused by this. This was his dream and it didn't materialize and so on. And some people will argue that's a bit too heavy. She talks a little bit about mental health and stuff like this as well, but she's gone through illness herself. Other people will say she's dead right and she's just sticking up for a man and supporting a man, and you can see both sides, at least I can. And the fact that Palace just didn't even drop McNeil some sort of courtesy call or message at some point during this process, during these negotiations, for me is really poor. I'm not quite sure why they did it. It's like, it gives me vibes of, you match with somebody on a dating app and you just ghost them without saying a word to them, except that it's not a dating app.
Are you talking from past experience, or?
I'm on the end of it. But I'm talking about, it's not a dating app. It's a £20 million transfer for a player that's going to play for you for years, who is uprooting and moving his family 250 miles. It's a huge commitment, and obviously it's a huge bit of business that could have been done and in the end wasn't done. For them to not even get in contact with him just was a complete lack of class from Palace, and hopefully it makes other players in his situation reconsider whether they want to go down that road with Palace, if that could potentially be the end of result, because I don't think they did. They conducted themselves correctly there. In terms of the game, Fulham versus Everton, Fulham were actually pretty impressive at Old Trafford, I thought, for the most part. They always seem to turn up against us. And I feel like Fulham should win this game at just a shade over evens. I wouldn't be backing it, but I think the price is quite fair enough. But for me, Fulham probably just about get it done.
Yeah, probably. I got nothing here.
Yeah, let's move on. Wolves Chelsea. I mean, it's a good time to talk about the Champions League race, because for me, as much as you want to say seventh place Brentford are in the mix,
they are.
They are not. They are not.
They are.
So we've got five teams for me. Man City, 24. All of them played 24 games again. We've got Man City 47, Aston Villa 46, United 41, Chelsea 40, and Liverpool 39. Now, do you think Man City and Villa are shoo-ins, or do you think that they are in the battle for these two Champions League spots?
Yeah, Man City will get top four easy.
Okay, so you think Man City are a shoo-in. Do you think Aston Villa are a shoo-in?
I think they're going to fall off. I think they're going to fall off considerably, and they're going to be fighting for like 5th, 6th, 7th, I reckon.
Right, okay, so you think Villa won't make top four then? Okay, so Arsenal and Man City will, in your mind. Who are the other two?
I think the rest would battle. They're going to be battling it out, and I think that's going to be Brentford up there as well.
Okay, which two?
I think
you could set your
which two are going to make it?
Yeah.
It's really tough, to be honest. Let me go through my model. I think Liverpool are going to pick up some momentum, and I think Liverpool will finish ahead of United.
And Chelsea?
Fifth.
So you think United will...
No, Brentford 5th, Chelsea 6th, sorry.
So you think United will come 4th? Don't worry, mate, we don't have places to be.
Yeah, look, it's really hard to tell. I feel like this... I think this is the first year where you can't... I think the top two is quite easy to say who are going to be. I think it's between 3rd and 6th, even maybe 7th, it's kind of open. The table's really, really tight.
Yeah, okay.
Even the top 10 is quite tight, right? Not top 10, I mean, 10 to 5th or whatever.
It is quite tight. Here's what I think on it. Arsenal are obviously going to win the league. I agree with you that Villa will drop off. I think Man City will drop off as well. I think Man City will still scrape into the top 4, but Man City cannot win a game at the moment without huge effort. Their midfield is all over the place. They cannot defend Man City are right this moment are in terrible form, and to drop 2 points the way they did against Spurs was a disaster. Right? You look at who's in
Yeah,
form right now. Are Man United in better form than Man City right now? Yes.
yeah, obviously.
Are Chelsea in better form than Man City right now? Yes. Are Liverpool in better form than Man City right now? Yes. Right? I think Liverpool will absolutely make top four, and I think Chelsea have got enough to make top four as well with
I'm not
Rosenior.
convinced with. I'm not convinced the way last few games Chelsea haven't been great, but they've been picking up results. Luckily,
Yeah. I think that the top four will be Arsenal first, Liverpool second, right? You're right, it is hard. I'm going to go.
no. Well, there
Chelsea.
we go. We got
I'm
places
gonna
to
go.
be. Bloody hell!
Here you go. I'll get off the fence. Arsenal first, Liverpool second, Man City third, Chelsea fourth, Man United fifth.
You're not
That's what I'm
backing your
gonna do.
boys.
No, I think we'll
Why?
just miss out. By the way, don't forget our Man United bet that we made at the start of the season. You can owe me money.
Ah, I don't remember that one.
Yeah.
Oh, and also, didn't we make a bet at Brentford top 10 finish?
No, we did not.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll check my logs.
Have a look. You can owe me more cash. Let's talk about the bees. They're away at Newcastle. Tough game. Very tough game.
Hold on. Why are we talking about Wolves Chelsea?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, let's do that. Sorry, you've got an angle, haven't you?
Yeah, of course I got an angle. But I'm on the Wolves train still. Especially they're playing at home. Yeah. They're not down. They're not down and out yet. I'm just not convinced by this Chelsea team. The Chelsea performances, look, they've been getting results, but they're not being great. I think against Brentford, I mean, even in a neutral, we created by far the better chances. They were pretty lucky to win that game. Against West Ham as well, look, they won that game, but they had to really fight for it and dig in the second half. Wolves have been solid and they haven't scored many goals lately. But if you look at the game they played against Bournemouth, they created a lot of good opportunities and they were quite unfortunate not to score. I think Bournemouth were quite lucky to win that game. And look, I'm a big fan of law of averages and all that, and it's got to be one game where they start scoring some goals, and I think this could be it. So my angle for this game is Wolves plus 3/4 at even. So basically, if they lose by one goal, we get half the money back. Look, they're going to keep it fairly tight. I can see them scoring. Chelsea playing today. We're recording on Tuesday, so look, could pick up some injuries. Who knows, right? Coming into games on Saturday. So yeah, I think this is a pretty decent bet.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. The more you talk, you make a good case. I think that
I mean, 1.7 Chelsea to win this game is
it's too short. I mean,
They're not playing well.
I've said that I'm a big fan of Rosenior, and I really am. I think the way that he conducts himself and carries himself is excellent. When you're looking for a manager these days who can take on that long-term path, a little bit Arteta-esque, you're looking for modern. He's got the kind of ethos and has got the way of playing that fans like and knows how to set up and is tactically astute. But then you also need the disciplinarian side in terms of who players also, want to play for and not scared of, but hold in high regard and respect. And you kind of want that balance of a modern disciplinarian for me. And I think the senior has got that in spades. I really do. I'm so impressed with him. Just the way he carries himself. He's got so much charisma. All the attributes for me to be a top manager. I hope Chelsea give him time because I'm so impressed. What you're laughing, but it's true.
No, give him. Yeah, I hope Chelsea's give him time. Good one.
Well, again, if they don't, I mean, again, he's another one that I wouldn't disregard for us. In terms of the West Ham game, however, he made too many changes at the start of that, and he tweaked it. But I mean, it was a weird game. You've got the likes of Garnacho, who's actually had a pretty good season for Chelsea, and he had the worst first half I've basically ever seen anyone have. He was diabolical, and it was like his confidence suddenly was completely shorn. Impossible for a senior to predict that, and the worrying thing for him is that maybe he can't rely on his overall squad as much as he hoped. And he'll obviously play a first team tonight because if he could get a cup under his belt, he would love it. So he'll be going all guns blazing against Arsenal tonight. Could there then be a knock-on effect at Wolves? Absolutely, and I think that's one of the things that really supports your bet here in terms of, why it could happen. So I still think Chelsea will get over the line just, but not with the confidence that I did before. I'll say Chelsea to nick it, but I can, with Wolves at 0. plus 0.75, I can certainly see the validity of the tip. Newcastle versus Brentford now then, if we can. For me, it's a goal fest. I think this is going to be goals galore. I can see
5-0 Brentford.
3-3. What do you think?
I think there's a small bit of value on Brentford on plus a half, but not enough for me to touch it. I feel like Brentford have gone from having quite really, really poor away performances. The last few away performances we've had have actually been pretty good. I think we can get something out of this. So yeah, perhaps a draw. Newcastle have not been great at all. It's just so hit and miss. Like they were good at home, then they kind of had some weird games at home. They can't win away, then they can win away. You don't know what Newcastle teams are going to turn up, and also they're playing on Wednesday as well, right? Against City. So look, again, there could be some more injuries and fatigue there.
Cool. I do have an official tip. It's a banker as well. It's going to happen. Both teams to score.
Overs, yeah.
Both teams to score and over 2.5 goals. So provided both teams score, we just need one more goal from either side to win the bet. Price is evens. Just like 1.96 or something. This is just a banker.
2-1 Brentford then.
So, it could be. I think there'll be more goals than that. It could be 3-2 Brentford. Wouldn't shock me in this game. Really wouldn't shock me. One of the only problems is Sade being suspended, which is not ideal. But
yeah, you see
honest,
that
he's not producing anyway.
Yeah. Also,
who's going to come in for him?
Damsgaard will play, so I feel like it's not.
Well, Damsgaard will play wide.
Yeah. He's played like that a few games when Natara has been away. That's how he played against Chelsea. Played really well. So it'll be Thiago, Natara, Damsgaard front three.
Okay. 2 to go. Let's talk about Brighton versus Crystal Palace. My favourite
big derby
team at the moment. Crystal Palace.
Who? Palace.
Can't do anything right for me. But yeah, I just think the Mateta one. He's now, his move didn't happen. He's now going to get surgery. It looks like, to make sure he's ready for the World Cup, because he doesn't want to be at Palace. £48 million for Jorgen Strand Larsen. Just sum that up for me.
Top signing. Top signing. Great player.
I can see your tongue in your cheek from here. Look, you said to me United overpaid at 63 million from Burma, right?
72 million they paid.
Okay,
From
without
Burma,
all.
yeah.
Right. So if whatever 63, 72 Mbuemo's worth, if you're saying United have overpaid for Mbuemo, what have Palace just done for Jorgen Strand Larsen?
Yeah, it's bonkers. I don't know. They've obviously really panicked here. I mean, it's their fault. They should have really addressed this at the start of the season, and who knows? They could have been fifth, sixth at this current stage, but they've really blew it. And it's the team's decimated now. I'm kind of worried for next season now. Who's going to be there? Munoz will probably go. He'll be next.
Yep. And
Wharton.
Again, don't want to repeat myself, but you know what I think could happen to them in terms of,
they're not going down.
In terms of Strand Larsen, just to spell it out, 1 goal this season in 23 games, on and off when he's played. 14 goals last season. Everyone talks about him getting this move off the back of what he did last season. He only scored 14 goals.
Not in the Prem, did he? Was it in the Prem?
Say again?
Was that 14 in the Prem or all competitions?
I think it's all competition. I'm not 100% sure. I need to check. But I think, again, it's not like he's had an incredible season. If one season of 14 Premier League goals is all that it takes for you to get a £48 million move in an X year number of contracts. That's crazy.
Who knows? It could be a masterstroke. Let's see.
Could be.
He'll be
Anyway,
definitely starting this game.
Brighton going to win?
I think there's some value in Palace, a little bit of value on plus a half. So Palace or draw.
You've
I
been
don't
on the
think I'm
Palace
quite. I
value-
don't think what
You've been on the Palace value train all season.
I have, but I've stepped away for quite a while, and I was close to backing them against Forest, and I didn't. And I was disappointed in myself not backing that, but that's the art of hindsight. But saying this, I think I want to see what happens and what kind of lineup they're going to play now, because they've brought quite a few players in. But interesting to see how they play in gel. I mean, it was obvious in the Forest game that it needed like an out-and-out striker. So Larsen's joined, so let's see. I mean, surely he has to come straight into the starting lineup. But look, Glasner has his way, so who knows?
Yeah.
And then Brighton again, like so inconsistent. Like, just don't know what they're up to.
Yeah, fair. Difficult one to call. Maybe could.
Draw.
I think Brighton might just edge it 1-0, something like that. Anyway, long pod. Let's wrap it up quickly with our final game, which is Liverpool versus Man City. I do have an angle on this. Again, I just don't have any faith in City at the moment. I think they were terrible against United, terrible in the second half against Spurs. Just didn't really come out. Let Spurs completely dominate the second half and take full initiative. And if any team could have won that game, it would have been Spurs in the end. So, yeah, I'm just not convinced that City, they can't challenge Arsenal for the league, and they should be looking over their shoulder in terms of consolidating a Champions League place. That's where they should be, and focus more of their efforts almost on the Champions League and cup competitions that they're still in to, see if they can do something, because they are not winning the league. In terms of my bet, my angle is Liverpool to win. I think Liverpool are actually in a rich vein of form right now, and can get it done. And also, so I'm just trying to find the bet. What's it got? There it is. And Florian Wirtz to have one shot. So doesn't have to be on target. Just again, one swing of the leg. Florian Wirtz operates in the number 10 position. Again, should be picked up by the player operating at the back of City's midfield. Rodri is not himself, and I think that Wirtz is on a hot streak and will have at least one shot, probably a few more. So we can double up on the Liverpool win and the Wirtz shot at 2.7, which I think is a really, really nice price. So that is my fourth and final tip. I think Liverpool will win this game quite comfortably. I'm going to say 3-0.
Yeah, I think there's a small bit of value, but not enough for me. But yeah, I can. To be honest, I'm looking forward to watching this game. It's going to be a good one. See what kind of City team turn up.
Absolutely, 100%. Cool, let's wrap up. I've got 4 tips for you. My first one is Bournemouth or draw against Villa with Alex Scott to have at least one shot. That comes in at 2.4. I have got Axel Tuanzebe to have a shot on target for half a point at 6.5. Newcastle Brentford, both teams to score and over 2.5 goals, which comes in at 1.96. And then finally, as you've just heard, Liverpool to win and Florian Wirtz to have a shot at a very juicy, medium rare price of 2.7. What have you got?
Leeds minus a quarter at 1.92. Bournemouth 0 on the Asian handicap at evens, and Wolves plus 3/4 on Asian handicap at evens as well. 3-3 for me this week.
Cool. Let's see. Let's hope so. That's all from us. Lots of topics covered there, and even more to enjoy over the next few days as the Premier League comes back to us after the dust settles on a pretty tame transfer window. Let's hope there's lots more excitement in the football itself. Enjoy it all and take care of yourselves.
Cheers.